And we're back with Retrotainment Recast. As you can see, I'm still here, but I've added another Carl back to the gang. Welcome back, Sherlock. How are things?
Oh, I'm all good. I'm all good.
How's fatherhood treating you?
All good. 7 weeks later, and I'm back to the show.
Look at that. He's back
Bit
after
more tired.
parental leave, and he's got less hair.
He's just
I
gonna.
still
He'll
have
be
to
joining
catch
us
up
soon.
with you.
Just remember, we told you that once I had hair before I had kids. That would
And I had a
count.
good head of hair as well.
I'll join you eventually.
I need to know though, Greg. Did you have? Or sorry, yeah, Carl. Did you have time to do today? Like, are you happy enough with your list?
I'm very happy with this. I didn't get a chance to rewatch, but this is one of my favorite films, so
Okay.
I didn't need to.
I'll give
That's right.
you a bit of good news though. I went looking for it, and it turns out it's on Disney Plus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's good to know.
that might be a viewing after the show tonight.
Absolutely not. It's bedtime after the show tonight. Carl,
Yeah,
them
no,
babies
that's
get
true.
up real early.
Yeah,
That is
they do. Greg, how are you? How did you find your list?
Ah,
Yeah, champion
usual.
mentality. What?
the usual. Going in with the aspect of never losing, always losing, but never losing.
And we have someone here for that already.
we need. Hey, listen. Kurt Hawking Street is ending here. I'm coming back like Eric Bischoff in 2003.
I don't care if you're coming off parental leave trying to make a big return. It's not happening tonight.
All I'll say to you, Carl, is that Ted normally thinks that me and him to be in cahoots because of On the Slab, you know.
I've seen the shows in my absence.
Oh, and the winner, Greg.
just so we're doing big tonight.
Yeah.
1988, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Only one person in this group that was born at that stage.
Me?
Well, it wasn't me.
I know it wasn't you. That could be. I don't know how old Carl is. You know what I mean? But
Carl's
fine.
40.
Close. I was 91. Close.
Okay.
Carl's a baby here.
So baby Carl and big Carl, huh?
There we go.
Great film. I loved it. I actually loved watching it when I was a kid. And of course, I think everyone's favorite scene is the piano.
Piano.
I think
it's iconic.
It's the most memorable scene, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But like anybody that's seen one of those walk-on pianos has tried to do that at some stage.
Well, funny enough, I was in Selfridges a few weeks ago in London, and they have one. And I tried it. It didn't go very well, but I tried the song.
What happened? The ambulance was called a couple of minutes later.
Carl can't stretch that far. What's going on here?
What happened? 2 groins are split in bits.
Oh. So yeah, if you've an interesting one tonight, so you have your picks at the ready, and you can throw them into the group chat there.
Yeah, do that. No, hang on.
So.
Great.
Damn phone taking its time.
That's not fair. He's looking at mine.
Not a chance.
Doesn't matter.
Sent.
Great. Perfect. You're both in there. Right. So we'll start from the list that we had. We'll start from the bottom right up.
Cool.
And that's starting. I know it's a good one though. Scotty Brennan. Which one was Scotty Brennan? That was John Lovitz, wasn't it?
John Lovitz.
Man, what a big name to play such a small role. Like, was this coming off the back of City Slickers 2, was it?
No, City Slickers wasn't released until 91.
This is 88, isn't it?
Yeah.
And City Slickers 1 was 87, was it not?
Was it? It doesn't matter.
1 or 2, whatever. Anyway, he was a bigger name in the acting world. So I went to the big name who takes randomly small roles. I went with Jack Black.
Okay.
Surely because he pops up in random things. Like, look at the Muppets. He pops up in the Muppets.
The Muppets is different. The Muppets is
a hell of a different thing. Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like, he takes
people have always made small things in the Muppets.
Oh yeah, well, you're never going to get a big part in the Muppets unless you're on the show. Like, but the movie, I mean, it generally takes randomly small parts and shows up in things.
Yeah. My choice here, when you first hear it, you mightn't think it's, straight off the thing, but the more it sits on you, I think it suits this role absolutely down to the ground. I went with Johnny Galecki, better known as Leonard from The Big Bang Theory.
There's Greg loves Big Bang, don't you?
I do like the Big Bang.
I think he suits this really, really well. He's just a disgruntled fucker, basically, who wants jealous because someone else gets the thing ahead of him.
The only thing I will say with that is I can't picture Leonard turning around making the sex joke.
Have you seen In Time by any chance? Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, the scene at the bar. I know that.
Yeah, like he does play those type of roles, and other things
That's
as well.
the only other thing I've seen him in. To be honest,
he's like he basically drank himself to death, and that. He can play that type of guy.
Century. Wasn't it? That was him, wasn't it? That guy has a century.
Yeah, and he drank himself to death with years left on his arm.
I think it's for me. The Jack Black will come in, just make the joke, and then he'd be on his way. Do you reckon away?
The thing that I'll argue with Jack Black is, I know Carl, you hate this argument, but it does work for this. He's too old for this role.
Why? He's not too old to work in and off.
They're in the junior position.
That doesn't mean that.
They're in entry level, and your man John Lovett wanted to start to climb the ladder. And when you're that old in the entry level, you're not going up the ladder.
Yeah.
And he seemed disappointed when Tom Hanks went up.
I don't know. You can go into an office at any age.
All right. Well, I mean, as I said, I personally am still trying to get to grips with this, and maybe the guy I picked for it is a bit too famous. I went with Zac Efron, but at least I didn't have the same as one of you.
I think Zac Efron might have been a good Paul, maybe depending on the age of you've gone with Josh.
True.
Um,
I don't see him for this role really.
Okay, you see, the great thing about this one, this episode is, I actually did my research, as in ages and comparisons and all that kind of stuff. So he's in this around the same age as Lovitz was back then. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose, yeah, 88.
He's in his 30s.
Yeah.
Jesus, he didn't age well, did he?
No. But anyway, the more important thing at hand is who are we picking? Well, who am I picking? I have to say, I love Jack Black, but I don't see him doing that little piece. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Galecki is funny. He is funny.
Yeah.
And he's not as, like, if you're giving me a choice between those two, he's not as big as Jack Black. So
nowhere near.
No.
I wasn't picking a big name.
No.
For the role.
And that's why I'd go with Galecki on that one. And I can see him, you see him getting pissed off at Sheldon all the time and the way he does it now. So I'm gonna go with Carl on that one.
And I don't think Galecki's been used very often in this show.
No, different.
I think you used. Oh, Ted used him a while back.
Ted used him once, yeah.
He didn't get picked either.
So that's 1-0 to the loser, yeah.
Yeah, you were 3-2 up with 2 to play and couldn't pick one up.
Hey.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. You have to have that cockiness about you, you know.
Did I not go 3-0 up on a niner and then lost 6 in a row?
You were 2 up and drew the third one.
And then lost.
So technically you lost 7 in a row.
Yeah.
Right, you lost points on 7 on the bounce.
Yeah, that was rough.
And Joe, what was worse? You called it.
I know. I called it. Yeah.
What a great start. I'm probably going to lose the rest of them now.
Yeah.
And he did.
Well, technically he didn't. He got a draw in there, but
yeah, still, it was awful day.
If you're not forced, you're last. You know.
Exactly.
Moving up the list, we have Mrs. Baskin.
Perfect. Mercedes Rule played this originally. For this one here, I went with. I think she would she'd do the role very well, but I also went with what a studio would probably put in this day and age for someone in this role. So they're going to go down the comedian route because it is a comedy movie, but someone who can do drama as well. She is age appropriate for it. I went with Tina Fey.
Good show.
No.
I'm not a big fan of Tina Fey. I'm really not, but I think
it's a good shout though.
A studio would love her in this role.
The only thing I would say is there's not much comedy from her in this.
There's not, but she does her dramatic roles quite well, and with a bit of a nod and a wink.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you can kind of see that. I went with someone a little more serious who's played a role where the kid has actually gone missing. I went with Rose Byrne, who was obviously the Ma from Insidious. Was a good actress. She is in obviously Insidious and a few others. I can't remember off the top of my head now. She's Australian. I'm pretty sure she's.
I know. I like Rose Byrne.
I'm pretty sure she's married to someone famous as well, who I can't remember. Let me see. She's married to
Bobby Cannavale.
That's the one. She's in Bad Neighbors and stuff. She's married. I think she's married to Seth Rogen in Bad Neighbors.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I suppose they're good. They're two good shouts there. Again, I'm going with names that I know. I went with Cameron Diaz. Might be a bit too big for that role, but again, age appropriate.
I think for me, like she was.
She has just come out of retirement as well.
For me, I think when I was recasting this, I looked at it and I didn't try and go someone overly stunning looking.
Ditto.
Not the well, yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, not that bad looking.
She's either is Rose Byrne, but she's what typically be say your average parent.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking as well.
Robbie in there going.
Like my backup was Marissa Tomei, and I was just like, she's too.
My backup.
I was gonna pull her up, yeah.
She's too stunned for this.
That was my backup. That's who I went with anyway.
Again, two different picks.
I just think that a studio would love to have Tina Fey in there because she'd do all the promotions and all that type of stuff. I went kind of technical for it, but I think that she would.
I don't think they would put her in because there's no
100% would.
No comedy whatsoever off the madness. Apart from that scene where she falls back when the kid goes missing and he walks in.
Exactly.
I don't know. I could see. I would think Tina Fey's comedy prowess to be wasted on that little bit. So I'd probably go with Rose Byrne on that one.
Get you in there, Rose Byrne.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So 1-0. Who's back? Who's the next? We are going with Billy.
Jared Rushton originally. And this is the one that I'm a bit worried about.
So I had two names for this.
Yeah.
The backup was Walter Scobell.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Young lad from the Adam Project. Walker. Yeah. But I went with Young Sheldon. I went with Ian Armitage.
Okay.
I went with Walker Scobell.
Balls.
And I like Ian Armitage. I really like Ian Armitage as an actor. He is not a cheeky little fucker. And that's what Billy is. Billy is...
That's just
more
white. And imagine by the reaction, it was the same one that I picked.
Yeah, Ian Armitage.
In there, champ. The champ fires back.
I was looking at... I was looking at the characters or the actors. I think he's quite. I know he only does really Young Sheldon that we know of, but I just get the impression he's very versatile.
He was in the Muppets as well, wasn't
he? Yeah, how young was he then?
Just saying.
True.
Just shut up and take the point, okay?
I don't see Billy's. I'm not, there's no point in arguing because it's you've given the point, but I mean Billy is a cheeky fecker. And he has the brashness to be able to even stand up to adults and all that type of stuff.
I think I'm thinking though. Sorry for cutting across you there, Carl. In the way that the way I see that they cast, especially little parts like that, they're gonna go with people that are still in the public view. I think, not that the other lads not, but everyone knows Young Sheldon. True. That's what I was thinking of, and we did not know about that, by the way.
No, that's good. That's fine.
Bear in mind, I changed mine late on. I even have a little note that you can see there on the picture. I was like, he mentions that he's younger than Josh is.
That's right. Yeah, he has that. Yeah.
13, and he's 12.
Mentions
Yeah,
he's younger than
for some
Josh.
reason, I thought that you were going to go with your man from Stranger Things, Gaten
No.
Matazzaro. I was just like, no, he's too old. I had that
Yeah.
argument ready.
That one, I did look at it and I was like, no, he's just. I know he looks young, but he is that bit too
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
If we had done this, maybe Stranger Things season 2, he's the ideal pick. He goes straight in.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's the first time one of mine has collaborated with one of yours. Well, with one of the other, mine and someone else's.
Apart from that self-contested episode at Halloween, when I didn't even really know you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ian the Dynamo is still a bit salty over that,
Still thinks we were in cahoots.
even though I didn't know him.
So next we're going with Paul, isn't it?
Yeah, John Hurd.
I'm so happy with my pick for this.
Me too.
Oh, great.
Okay, I don't know about me now, but I was him and Han. But sure, look,
So-
we'll throw it out there.
I went with someone who basically you have to play an asshole in this. You're picking someone who's going to be an asshole, but also someone who is quite physically fit and wants to domineer somebody. He wants to make sure that he's better than anybody else because he does that through the whole thing, and then especially in the squash game. I went with Anthony Starr.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I think because that's exactly what he does. It's exactly what he does. He wants to be the best, and he domineers himself over everybody, and that's his character.
Greg?
It's not who I went with. I went a bit more comedy here. I went with Will Arnett. I think he slots straight in.
He plays an asshole in a completely different way. That's not Paul.
I don't know. I think it is. Like, look at him in some of his other movies, where he's calculating and trying to be a sniding little rat, especially in Blades of Glory, when he gets everyone else to do things for him.
I love that film.
Absolutely him.
I have to disagree. I think I do like him, but I don't think he's
My argument.
He's a different type of arsehole.
My argument would be that Anthony Starr.
And he's not physically domineering enough.
I don't know. He's pretty ripped when you see him. Just because
he's slender though,
Yeah, it's not that he's jacked. Doesn't mean he's not fucking fit.
In fairness, fucking yeah, man wasn't jacked in this one either.
He wasn't jacked, but he was fit.
He was fit, yeah.
Yeah.
But somehow loses the sport, or basically loses the sport that he was playing, which is Will Arnett all over.
But
Thinks he's great at everything.
It could probably resonate better if Anthony Starr failed at it. If you get me.
Exactly.
I think he's far too serious for the role.
Well, no, what you're seeing is a really, really good actor.
No, I don't doubt that. And I have imagination that he's going to be an extremely good Dracula when he gets cast in.
Oh, he's gonna be
phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's gonna be unreal.
I have a feeling you're only gonna see him in the last episode of that series. I don't think he's gonna be in that thing. He's gonna be probably the last couple of scenes of the first series.
Hopefully, because it'd be a shame to kill him off in the first season.
Oh well, there's no way they're gonna bring him in and kill him off. If they do use him in the first season, they won't kill him off.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go with Anthony Starr because, as I said, it would be more effective, I think, with someone that domineering and taking the hit. Whereas Will Arnett, he's just too skinny or something. I don't know. He's funny, but and it was a good shout. But yeah, Anthony Starr has to win that one.
Who did you choose, King?
I went with, and again, I keep making excuses. I went with Chris Evans.
Okay, you can see that.
He isn't. He can play a great asshole.
Yeah, that's what it was. And again, he was physical. He could be physical.
Great. He's really good in the Grey Man.
Yeah. So I went with Carl on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
2-2.
2-2. Right.
This would
And
be
this would
better than a couple of my last runs.
I think I don't know. I think he's gone soft on you, or I'm gone. Am I gone soft? Yeah, I don't know.
You're supposed to be my friend here, Carl.
We are friends. That's why I'm doing it the right way.
What happens now? You lose the next 3, and that's it. Game over.
I'm interested to hear how he's go with this one. Macmillan, Robert Loggia.
Robert Loggia. I'm actually so happy with my pick here, and I'm very surprised at myself.
Oh, I know who your pick is then.
Do you?
I have a high imagination. If you say you're not feeling it, it's someone you don't like, and I have a high imagination.
Oh, it's someone I absolutely despise.
Yeah, I know exactly who it is.
You're picking first, so.
Am I?
Yeah.
I am. I did look at the person you looked at, if it is the same person that I think it is, right? I also had Bryan Cranston as a backup,
Okay.
and I went with Steve Carell.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think he goes in, he plays the serious but stupidly funny role. Obviously, you see it in The Office, and I think he's perfect for this role.
I looked at
It
Steve.
took me a while to come off Bryan Cranston.
I looked at Steve Carell, but I think this guy would suit it better. And King,
I don't.
you don't know, but the other lads know. I hate this person. I literally will not watch one of their films. There's so many of their films that people call classics.
I'm going to argue this point before he names that person, right?
Right.
He said it's one of his favorite films, and he would not watch it if this person.
No. I said I haven't watched his current films, but he would suit this role because it's a limited role, so he can do it. And again, have the studio mind on me. The studio would love to get this guy in. Will Ferrell.
No.
Oh. You were building it up so well, Carl.
I hate him. But he does this role fantastically.
Thinking about it now, just as you say, Will Ferrell, I think John C. Reilly could be fucking fantastic in there.
Probably better than Will Ferrell, yeah.
I guess I've lost that point.
I think Carell is perfect.
I went with.
I don't. To be honest, I'd prefer John C. Reilly over Carell.
Yeah, well, thinking about it now, I probably would have picked John C. Reilly, but.
Just for shits and giggles, I went with Robert Downey Jr. because he played. You could see him playing a boss, and
RDJ is not a bad shout actually.
Yeah.
You could see him doing the piano thing.
Yeah, that's again.
That's where I was going with Will Ferrell. He'll be the serious guy, and then suddenly he'll have the moment of childlike wonder, which he does, which I hate, but which he does in all of his films. He acts like a kid, and in that moment, you have him acting like a kid, jumping around playing on the piano, and you get Will Ferrell in that scene.
I don't see it. I don't see him taking that role. I couldn't picture him as the head of a company. Apart from Boats and Howes Limited, he's definitely not the head of any company.
He plays the strict father in the Lego movie.
Lego movie. That's not going to win you a point, Carl.
That's a voiceover.
It's not just a voiceover. He has some live action scenes in there.
I haven't seen the Lego movie, so I don't know.
Okay, let me just ask you a question. Can I give no points for either of those?
No.
No, because I like both. I do like both of them. Sorry, Carl. I do like Will Ferrell. Okay, but yeah, and the thing that the point that Greg made there is what's probably going to swing it for me, and that I couldn't see Will Ferrell being the head of a big company, whereas we know that Carell has done Michael Scott or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for that reason, and I don't want to pick either of them. I really don't. But should give me a point. Just give me a point for RDJ.
Would Bryan Cranston have made that an easier?
No, because he looks too old.
Fair enough.
Out of those choices that we're picking,
So I went right then.
Yeah, but as much as I could see, I could see just for a quick one. You know, I could see Bryan Cranston playing Daddy Warbucks or something in Annie. Do you know what I mean? For example, that warm,
Yeah.
you know. But look, it is what it is, and I hope we don't ever recast Annie because I'm fucked
They
up.
did that and they did it badly.
Great.
Ted doesn't do musicals, so.
Right, so reluctantly, I'll give that one to Greg. Let it be
God,
known
it's
on the
gonna
record,
happen,
I didn't
yeah.
want to give a point to either, and not because I don't like the lads, it's just I don't like the choices.
Now, I'm going to put it out there before we go to the last two, right?
Right.
I'm going to say I win from here.
Okay.
You think we have the same person, Liam, for Josh?
I might think we might have the same person for both.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, let's not beat around the bush then. Let's go with.
But I wouldn't be very surprised if we definitely have the same Josh.
Well, I think there's only one option for Josh.
I had
To be
two.
honest.
I settled on this one.
Yeah.
This one far outweighed the other one.
Yeah, I think there's only one option for Josh, to be honest, and I could only see one person ever playing that other than Tom Hanks. Actually, quick question: would Tom Hanks have won for Macmillan?
Possibly, actually, you know, the way he goes, looking at him with the moustache and all, looking at a bit older. Like, oh. Again,
I would have argued at that point.
Well, Robert Loggia was 57 when he made this, so Hanks is a bit older than that now.
I think he's just a little bit older than that now. Yeah,
just a little.
Right. So Susan, we're at a little bit.
This is gonna be good.
I may have made a mistake here because I kind of went with Josh and Susan here because of their chemistry together. So they have fantastic chemistry on screen together. So I kind of cast them together.
Oh no!
So what I did here, I went with Emma Stone.
Well, I'm going to tell you now.
Yeah.
That we have the same Josh then.
Yeah, probably. I guess.
So, do you want me to confirm that? Yes or no?
No, we'll wait.
No, not yet.
Right.
Emma Stone was my first pick for a long time.
Yeah.
And I changed it sheerly because the movie in question that my Josh and her are in, or movies,
that
I wanted to go different. So I went with Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh no.
Didn't like it, but I intently tried to move away from it.
I'm probably, you know the way you were, Carl, about Will Ferrell? I'm probably that way about Jennifer Lawrence. I
literally just tried to go somewhere different. I don't really like her either.
Yeah.
Tried to go somewhere different sheerly because of the connection that the two had in the other one.
God damn it, Greg, you're gonna win on Champions fucking advantage.
Unfortunately, yeah, you're going.
There's no point in arguing, really. Then is it? You can
who did you go for here, King?
I went with Margot Robbie, but I just threw it in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. That one was probably the one I took the least amount of time to think about. I was just like, yeah, just throw her in there. But yeah, I
wasn't happy with it. Put it that way. I
think Emma Stone suits this perfect.
I do as well, actually.
I was actually thinking of putting Zendaya in.
Oh no!
And I was like, no. I wanted someone different. I didn't want to use them because the two had already starred in 2 movies together. And Carl knows right now that it's the same pick. Seeing as it's my pick, I'm gonna go with Andrew Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Andrew Garfield.
And I can confirm that the 2 years had Andrew Garfield.
Which means the champ is now the longest reigning champ.
Carl, you gave it a good fight
and
there.
It means I have now lost 4 times by champion advantage.
Oh.
I've lost by champion's advantage. It hurts, but that was a hell of a
4 times.
effort.
Well, just besides now, I went. Andrew Garfield was my backup.
Okay.
Was Miles Teller your pick?
No, I went with Tom Holland. Believe it or not.
Oh no.
To
me, I thought he would have been the easy choice.
Well, that's probably what I was doing. But I mean, now that you say Miles Teller, that would have been actually an interesting one. He can be quite dark though. You know.
He was my backup.
I only ever had Andrew Garfield.
I eventually settled on it. It was a top shout, really.
Yeah.
So I know
Congratulations, I suppose.
Congrats.
I ruined your comeback,
You did.
and it was a
Oh,
stinger.
so close. 4-4.
But
God damn it.
what I'm going to say is, obviously, since you've been away, we added the king in,
Yes.
and we've decided that we're going to keep the king.
Thank you.
And we're going to add a new kind of rotation system in. So when you tune in to next week's episode, it's going to be a little bit different because I've beaten the 3 challengers: Carl twice, Ted twice, and Carl Sherlock once. I'm going to make the 3 boys go in a triple threat, and I'm going to be the judge. I'm going to give you the movie.
To get to the right to challenge you, is it?
Oh.
Yeah. The winner gets to go 1-on-1 with the great one.
That bell looks mighty fine.
I can say that because I have the most wins on this show. I hold the record. I am the man. And what was it? Ric Flair said, to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Yeah.
So you can beat each other for a week, and I'll judge.
I'm up for it. If you're up for it, Carl.
Yeah.
Someone has to win.
Imagine a draw. What I'll do is, normally we have 7, right? I might pick 8 for next week and keep it 1 out if it's a draw between 2 as a tiebreaker, because it wouldn't be fair to do another week of 2. Say Ted goes 4-all and Ted comes out, rather than having used battle another movie. I'll have a tiebreaker between the 2 or whoever's drawn. So it might not get used, so that might be the option.
But you will have a definitive winner on a tiebreak. So
next week, yeah. I'm gonna go into the kitchen. I'm gonna get myself a White Russian. I'm gonna sit there with my cardigan on.
Oh God.
And I'm gonna give you the Big Lebowski to do.
Okay.
That is gonna be tough.
What a fucking movie, lads.
I love that film. So
great film.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough.
I already have my list done.
Oh, for sake.
I've known, like, if I had a feeling, I knew if I won tonight that we were going to run the triple threat, and I knew what movie I was going to give you. I cast it already.
I'm sorry if I even give him a pick already. It doesn't matter for what role. I'm picking Sam Elliott for Sam Elliott's role.
So
the ghost of Sam Elliott.
He's still kicking.
He's for what, 80, is he?
You know, he still suits that role. The role hasn't changed.
As I said, it was great having Carl back from paternity leave. And,
welcome back, bro. Yeah,
thank you.
The champ will move on, but next week, if you missed this episode,
my God,
if you missed this episode when you tune in next week, I didn't lose. I'm just joking. Obviously, you won't see this message either if you didn't see this episode.
We have, of course, we've Mr. Cranky back next week. So we'll be looking forward to that, won't we, boys?
Oh yeah, and a 3-way battle.
It's going to be an absolute belter.
All right, well, I think it's time for us to say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah.
Adios, folks. Thanks for tuning in again, and well done to the champ, I suppose, you know.
Champion's advantage.
Yeah. Right, we're out of here. Adios.